I was 26 when this happened. It was my first time going to Coachella. For years, the plan never worked out. Money problems, work schedules, bad timing. But that year, everything finally aligned. We booked a small Airbnb, flew to California, and turned it into a full trip. The first 2 days felt unreal. Massive crowds, music coming from every direction. People dressed like they were living in a different reality. It honestly felt like a dream, like nothing bad could ever happen there. By the third day, we were completely drained. But it was the last night, so we didn't want to waste it. That's when we made a decision I still regret. We had brought Molly with us and planned to take it on the final day. I had tried it once before, years ago, and nothing bad had happened. So we took it. At first, nothing. We walked through the crowd, joking that maybe it wasn't even working. Then suddenly, it hit hard. Everything became more intense. The lights felt brighter. The music felt deeper. I felt lighter, happier, more connected to everything around me. For a while, it felt amazing. Then something started to feel off. I began noticing the same man. At first, I ignored it. In a crowd that big, it's normal to recognize faces more than once. But this didn't feel random. Dark hair, rough beard, black clothes, boots. He didn't blend in. I saw him once, then again, then again. No matter where I looked, he was somewhere in sight, just watching. I tried to convince myself it was nothing, blamed it on the drug, but the feeling didn't go away. As time passed, the high started turning on me. My heart was beating too fast. My body felt tense. I couldn't relax anymore. Then suddenly, he was right next to me, smiling, moving closer, trying to talk. I couldn't hear everything, but it was clear he was trying to flirt. I told him I wasn't alone, tried to stay calm. But he didn't leave. He stayed too close, too focused. I turned to reach for my friend. She wasn't there. She had disappeared into the crowd. Panic hit instantly. I started looking around, turning in circles, but I couldn't find her anywhere. He noticed. He leaned closer and said he could help me look. Something about the way he said it made me uncomfortable immediately. It didn't feel helpful. It felt wrong. I told him no and forced my way out of the crowd as fast as I could. I didn't even look back. I found a quieter area and sat down. That's when everything got worse. My vision felt unstable. Not exactly blurry, just like everything was slightly moving when it shouldn't be. I knew something wasn't right. I kept calling until one call finally connected. I told her where I was and that I needed help. When she found me, she didn't question anything. We left immediately. The walk out felt endless. Every sound felt too loud. Every movement around me felt overwhelming. And the whole time, I had this feeling I was still being watched. Back at the Airbnb, I went straight to bed. I was too exhausted to think. I lay there in the dark, somewhere between awake and asleep. Then, I opened my eyes and saw a figure standing in the doorway, tall, completely still, facing me. For a moment, my mind couldn't process it. Then I focused. It was the same man, standing there inside the house. I froze. Then I started screaming, not just shouting, full panic. I pulled the blanket over my head and didn't stop until the light came on. The doorway was empty, nothing there. I was told it was just the drug, a bad reaction. And I tried to believe that. The next morning, everything changed. I woke up to shouting. I sat up and saw muddy boot prints on the floor. They started near the front of the house, came down the hallway, and stopped right at the doorway. the exact spot where I had seen him. Then they turned around and went back out. Someone had been inside the house while we were sleeping, and unless it was some impossible coincidence, it was him. Nothing was taken, which somehow made it worse, because it meant he wasn't there to steal. He was there for us. After that night, I never touched anything like that again. And even now, before I fall asleep, I still check the doorway first.